Dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Vidya for Success. In this video, let us study the characteristic features of one more class of algae, that is Rhodophyceae. Now here we have the characteristic features of Rhodophyceae members. So these two are the pictures. They are belonging to the Rhodophyceae category. These are the alga. So you can notice some of the structures here. Two plants I have displayed on the screen. So in each of the plants we can notice some of the structure similar with the higher plant. They are showing a leaf like structure, but they are not well defined like leaf. Somehow they are performing the function like leaf here, so that they are called as a frond. And also you can notice some of the axis, main axis, that is looking like stem but is not actually stem, that is the axis. On the surface of axis we can notice the presence of leaf like organ. So somewhat these algae, they are showing the similar structure with that of the higher plant, but they are not well defined here, just they are meant for performing some of the function in this group of algae. So what is the color of algae here? So red color, right? So because of their color, the members of Rhodophyceae are commonly called as red algae. Clear? So the one more name what we use for the member of Rhodophyceae are red algae. Why do they called as red algae? What is there in these algae to give red color? So as we studied in the Chlorophyceae as well as Phaeophyceae, some of the pigments are responsible for giving the characteristic color. So in the red algae, some of the pigments are present. So those pigments are actually giving color to the algae. What are those pigments? So the common pigment we can see here is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll D. So for giving red color, it is having some kind of pigment, that is phycoerythrin, in their body. So this pigment, that means the amount of pigment, or that means amount of phycoerythrin in the plant, actually decides the color of Rhodophyceae. So that the red color of the Rhodophyceae is given by phycoerythrin pigment. So together with that we have chlorophyll A as well as D. These two pigments helps in photosynthesis. That means they are utilized by the plant for capturing sunlight. So with that they synthesize their own food material, because the Rhodophyceae members, they are autotrophic in their mode of nutrition. Not only Rhodophyceae, I am telling, all plants belong to plantae kingdom. Um, they are photosynthetic in their nutrition. There are some exception cases are there. We have already studied about that. So chlorophyll A and D here, it is meant for the photosynthesis. Then where do we find the members of Rhodophyceae? They are found in marine habitat. That means most of the species of red algae, they are present in marine water, that means salt water. So even though we have some exception cases, only some species of red algae, they are present in fresh water as well, but a majority of the members are present in marine water, that means in the salt water. And in which region we can find the red algae? So they can be seen on the surface of salt water. So where the warm area is there, that means on the surface of water, usually the penetration of light is more. So in that warmer area, the concentration of red algae is actually more, because they prefer such kind of habitat for their growth. Because of that, in the warmer area of ocean, we can see more number of red algae. And we can't also neglect that these algae presence in the deep region of ocean, because they have the ability to also grow in the deeper region of ocean. So where the less penetration area is there, in that region of a water body also we can see the members of algae, but relatively their ratio is less in the deeper region of water compared to the warmer area. Clear? So in the warmer area, the concentration of red algae is more, because uh, the light availability is more in that region, and they can be also seen in the deeper region where the light penetration is very less in water. So this is regarding the habitat of red algae. And what is the food material in the algae? Because being a photosynthetic organism, being an autotrophic organism, it have the ability to synthesize its own food material. So the food synthesized is gets stored in the form of Floridian starch. So here just you should understand Floridian starch is a component, chemical component. It is gets stored in the form of reserve food material. So you need not to be going to learn about the detailed structure of Floridian starch. Again, it is a very complex structure to learn. So just you understand the reserve food material in the member of Rhodophyceae is Floridian starch. So just you recall what was the reserve food material in Phaeophyceae member. Yes, there the reserve food material is laminarin or mannitol. But in the members of Rhodophyceae, the reserve food material is Floridian starch. So this uh, chemical compound is showing the similar structure with that of amylopectin and glycogen in structure. So glycogen is actually the stored food material in animal. So how the structure of glycogen is there in the higher animal, so in the similar way the Floridian starch structure is also there in the Rhodophyceae members. So that there is some structural similarity we could notice between the Floridian starch and glycogen in the higher animal. Then this is called as a red thalli. So what is the mean by red thalli? When we are calling the plant as thalli. So thalli is nothing but undifferentiated plant. So even though if you observe the leaf like structure and stem like structure, they are not well defined here. They are not actually stem, they are not actually the leaf. They just perform the function of photosynthesis, so that we are calling the leaf like organ here as a frond. Understood? So when the things are not differentiated well, such a plants are called as thalli. So that we are calling the plant body here as a red thalli. So most of the red thalli, red algae are multicellular in their plant body. That means they made out of multiple number of cells. So they look complex compared to the Chlorophyceae member in their appearance as well as in their reserve food material. And some of them have complex body organization. So you might have seen in the earlier slide, there we have noticed many branches, many axes we have observed there. So those are showing the complex structure of the algae here. Understood? So some of the algal members, they are showing complex body organization, and here all the members they are multicellular in their body nature. Then if you come to the mode of reproduction, they reproduces by asexual method. So during asexual reproduction, they produces non-motile spores. So this is what the difference we could make out between Phaeophyceae members and Rhodophyceae. So in the Phaeophyceae, we have seen the motile zoospores will be producers, but here in the Rhodophyceae member, they produce as non-motile spores during their asexual reproduction. And they reproduces sexually by producing non-motile gametes. Again, this is also the difference between the Rhodophyceae and Phaeophyceae. So these members, red algae, they produces non-motile gametes during their sexual reproduction. So the common type of sexual reproduction what we can see here is oogamous type of reproduction. Understood, children? So these are the few general characteristic features what we can notice in the members of red algae. And the one more thing we have to understand here is about the cell wall. So cell wall in the Rhodophyceae member is made out of cellulose. So cellulose on the outside again covered by one of the material called as pectin. So pectin is the component can be seen on the outer surface of the cellulose. So this is a very common feature can be seen in all members of red algae. Now let us see the examples of red algae. So one of the example is Polysiphonia. So this is habitat to marine water. So this is actually the picture of Polysiphonia. So in the picture you can notice many branches. So all these are the axis. That means they are not stem. These branches are called as axis. And one more example is Porphyra. So Porphyra is also a marine red algae. This is the picture of Porphyra. Then Gracilaria. This is the Gracilaria. This is a very useful plant. It is used for the extraction of some compounds. They are economically very important that you will study in the uses of algae. Gelidium. So this is the Gelidium red alga. So all these are actually habitat to marine water. So these are the examples of Phaeophyceae members. So you can compare the one plant with the another plant. They are showing actually complex structure compared to the Phaeophyceae members and Chlorophyceae members. Children, till now we have studied the characteristic features of all the three classes, that means Chlorophyceae members, Phaeophyceae members and Rhodophyceae members. So here we have a table where they have given the comparative characteristic feature of all the three classes of algae. So there just you can compare the character and you can make yourself thorough with all this characteristic feature. So let us have a look into the classes of algae. So there are three classes of algae we have studied. One is Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae and Rhodophyceae. What is the common name of Chlorophyceae? It is called as green algae. Then what are the pigments present in the Chlorophyceae member? They consist of chlorophyll A and B. Then what is the stored food material in Chlorophyceae member? That is starch. And the cell wall of Chlorophyceae member made out of cellulose. And the flagella, number of flagella and the position of insertion is 2 to 8 number of flagellas are present and they are equal, and the position of flagella is apical. That means at the tip of the spores we can see the presence of flagella. So you can take the example of zoospores in the Chlamydomonas to study the structure as well as position of flagella. So the number of flagella may vary from one species to another species. So it might be 2 to 8 in number and all the flagellas are equal and they are present at the tip of the spore. So their position is apical position. And if you come to the habitat of Chlorophyceae member, they are mainly habitat of fresh water and some are habitat of brackish water or salt water. So this is about the comparative study of the Chlorophyceae characteristic feature. So just you compare the Chlorophyceae character with the Phaeophyceae. So Phaeophyceae are commonly called as what? Brown algae. So what are the pigments present in them? They consist of chlorophyll A and C, and the one more pigment that is giving brown color to the organism is fucoxanthin. So the amount of fucoxanthin decides the actual color of brown alga. Then how do they store food material? So food material is actually stored in the form of mannitol and laminarin. So cell wall here is cellulose and cellulose on the outside covered by algin. Then the number of flagella in the spore is 2 and both the flagella are unequal. One is long and another one is short. And the position of flagella is lateral position. They are not present at the tip of the spore. Instead of that, they are present on the lateral region. So if you see the habitat of Phaeophyceae, they are present in very less number in fresh water. That means rarely present in fresh water, and their number is more in the salt water or in brackish water. Then let us move on to the third class of the algae, that is Rhodophyceae. They are commonly known as what? Red algae, and the pigment present in them are chlorophyll A and D. Then one more pigment is phycoerythrin. Phycoerythrin is actually giving red color to the algae. Then the food material stored is floridian starch, and the cell wall is actually made out of cellulose. On the outside of cellulose we can notice the presence of pectin. Then the flagella is actually absent here. Understood? Just you compare the character of the flagella here. Chlorophyceae members consist of 2 to 8 flagella. Phaeophyceae consist of only 2 flagella. Rhodophyceae members does not consist of flagella in their spores. And if you move on to the habitat of Rhodophyceae, they are present in more number in salt water and brackish water. Their number is very less in freshwater body. So this is the comparative study of all the 3 classes of algae. So if you learn this table, you can easily write minimum 5 characters for each of the classes. So you go through this table and learn all the characteristic features with respect to the classes of algae. By this, we moved on to the last part of our discussion, that is uses of algae. So algae, we know they are primitive group of plant. Even though they are primitive in their structure as well as in their body organization, they are very useful to us in different ways. So one of the use what we are getting by algae is they are very effective carbon dioxide fixers on earth, because the carbon dioxide fixation on earth is carried out by algae. What do you mean by this carbon dioxide fixation? So algae are autotrophic organism. For preparing their own food, for the photosynthesis, they actually need carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is the raw material required for photosynthesis. So they absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and they fix it in their cells. That means they utilizes carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis. So by this they will decreases the level of carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere, so that they are called as very effective carbon dioxide fixers. And they also increases the level of dissolved oxygen in water. So oxygen is one of the byproduct produced by the photosynthesis. That means at the end of photosynthesis we get oxygen. Because they are aquatic plants, they releases oxygen to the water. So by this they increases the level of oxygen, dissolved oxygen in the water. So these two are basic use what we are getting by algae. So for their photosynthesis they utilizes carbon dioxide, so that the carbon dioxide amount get decreases in the atmosphere, and at the end of photosynthesis it releases oxygen, so that dissolved oxygen level will be increases in water. Then other than this, some of the marine algae are directly consumed as food by human as well as some of the herbivorous animal. So the best example of algae utilized as a food are sargassum and laminaria. So sargassum and laminaria is actually a brown algae. Sargassum is also a brown algae. So these two brown algae, they are consumed by man as a food. So that some of the species of algae, they are source of food to animals. Then one more use is they are actually used in the production of hydrocolloids. So hydrocolloids are some kind of chemical components. So these chemical components are actually produced by using algae. So the best example of hydrocolloid is algin, and one more hydrocolloid is carrageen. So what do you mean by this hydrocolloid? So hydrocolloids are the substances, they are actually having the ability to hold water. So water holding substances are actually named as hydrocolloids. So the best example of water holding substance is algin. So algin is extracted from brown algae. Then one more hydrocolloid is carrageen. So carrageen is extracted from red algae. So for transporting some of the living material from one place to another place, they will wrap the living material with the help of hydrocolloid, so that it will retain the moisture content in the organism, so it won't let it dry. So this is what the advantage we are getting by hydrocolloids. So you have to remember the two types of hydrocolloids produced by algae here. One is algin and another one is carrageen. Then one more commercial product what we are getting by the algae is agar. So agar is actually a chemical compound. It is produced, it is obtained by one of the red algae, that is a gelidium. And one more red algae obviously will use for the extraction of agar is Gracilaria. Understood, children? So two red algae they use for the extraction of agar, that is Gelidium and Gracilaria. What is the advantage of agar? So agar is actually used as a solidifying agent. So when you add a pinch of agar to any of the liquid material, it will solidify that. So because of this, agar is used commonly in laboratories to grow some of the microorganisms, and also they are used in the manufacturing of jam and jellies. Then ice cream preparation is also done with the help of agar because of its property. Understood? So these are the few advantages what we are getting by agar. Understood, right? So agar is a chemical component. It is used as a solidifying agent. So where we are using agar? It is used in the preparation of jam and jellies. Then in the ice cream preparation also they will use agar. Then it is also used in the laboratories for growing microorganisms. Then one more advantage what we are having is by the algae is they are used as a supplement food by space travelers. So space travelers uh, could not carry the heavy food what we use here. So that instead of carrying heavy food, they carry this supplementary food. Like they will carry some of the protein tablets. So those protein tablets are actually prepared by some of the algae called as chlorella. So chlorella consists of large amount of protein. So because of that, the chlorella is used in the manufacturing of protein tablets. So it is actually used as a supplement food by space travelers. Clear, children? So these are the some advantages what we are getting by different kinds of algae. So by this we have finished all the characteristic features of algae and uses of algae. So you prepare for this concept. So in the next class I will discuss with you some of the important questions related to the algae. Thank you.